Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer, thanks to Frizzle Nilcan for this one. Amy plays Mutilate, which will give all creatures -5/-5, while Nick controls 4 Eager Cadets and a Heliod. What happens? In order to answer this question, we're going to need to take a close look at how state-based actions function. Of course, the relevant one here is that a creature with 0 or less toughness, like all of Nick's creatures at the moment, is going to be put into its owner's graveyard. Now, all of the creatures in this state-based action are going to be put into the graveyard all at once as part of the same game action. That means that at the time that the game is checking to see what creatures there are that have 0 or less toughness, all of the Eager Cadets are still going to be on the battlefield. That means that Heliod will itself be a creature because Nick's devotion to white is 5 or greater. That means that when the game does this state-based action, all of Nick's creatures, Heliod included, will be put into his graveyard. Alright, so that's kind of a bummer, but maybe we could help Heliod out if we gave him some more devoted followers. Let's say we have the exact same question as before, except we're going to take 3 of Nick's Eager Cadets and turn them into 1 Benelish Marshal. Will we see any difference here? Okay, so just like before, the Mutilate is going to come and give everything -5/-5. Now, that's going to take most of Nick's creatures down to 0 or less toughness. However, the Heliod is getting buffed from the Benelish Marshal, which means that it actually will be a 1/1 after this Mutilate resolves. That means that when the game performs state-based actions, the Heliod will not be put into Nick's graveyard because it has 1 toughness. Now, that's not going to mean it's out of the woods yet, because the next step that's going to happen after that is the game is going to perform state-based actions again. That means that the game is going to look and see if there's any more state-based actions that need to get performed. This process repeats itself until no state-based actions are performed, at which point the next player to get priority will finally do so. When the game performs state-based actions for the second time, it's going to see something really interesting. You see, Heliod is no longer going to be a creature. That's because all of Nick's devotion to white has been put into his graveyard, leaving only Heliod himself. That means that Heliod is only going to see 1 devotion to white, so it won't be a creature anymore. Of course, if it was a creature, its power and toughness would be 0/0, so it would be headed to the graveyard. However, because it's not a creature at this time, it doesn't even have a power and toughness, so that means it's safe from the state-based actions. Nick is going to want to make sure that he doesn't get his devotion to white above 5 anytime during the rest of this turn, because if that was to happen, the -5/-5 effect from Mutilate is still sticking around. So unless he had some other way to buff the Heliod's power and toughness, it would be taking a trip to the graveyard. I really like this situation because it shows how just a small change can lead to a really big difference in the results of what happens. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.